Ooh.
Yeah, right. But what's up?
Hello, everyone. How are we doing?
I
How?
can't speak for them, but I'm doing well.
That's great, Adam. I'm
Yeah, how are you doing?
I'm a little beat. I'm a little tired, but I'm here and I'm excited to be recording another episode with you. I believe this is episode 28, right?
Believe so. Hey, the grind don't stop.
Hey, the grind never stops at all.
Grind does not
Actually
stop
counting
at
bills,
all.
counting bills as we're speaking because we gotta multitask.
You been to the movies lately?
Yes, actually, I did. The last movie I saw was Cruella.
Okay, nice. You enjoy it?
I yes, Yes. Okay. So someone prior before seeing the movie, someone had told me that it was Devil Meets Prada or Devil Wears Prada meets the Joker.
Okay.
Um, and then honestly, after watching the movie, I think that was the perfect like metaphor for it because it did feel like that. What I truly loved about the movie, though, without spoilers, is the performances by Emma Thompson and Emma Stone, and the what is it called? The costume design, the
Yeah.
set. It looked like a really beautiful. Like there was a budget for this movie and delivered, and every costume piece that was out there and every scene was amazing, like to the slightest detail too. And
Yeah.
depending on how you saw it, like I don't remember exactly what I think it was Dolby, but I don't know, I may be wrong. I saw it at the downtown San Diego on Fifth Avenue.
Okay.
It's called the letter box or something like, or like first box. Right underneath it is called, it's a sugar factory, and it's
Okay.
like now a restaurant and like this and that. But
Oh,
uh,
nice.
it was a cool thing, the reclinable seats and everything, and it was comfortable. But like the visually, like the screen and everything was very detailed. So I like that because you could see like little, like you can see the patterns on people's clothing within the movie, and that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, that sounds cool. I haven't seen it yet. I need to. I haven't been to the movies in quite some time. Um, but I need to because I need to see Cruella. I need to see uh, A Quiet Place Part Two, and then before Black Widow comes out in a couple weeks. Oh, and Fast and the Furious. So
Yeah, yeah. You
um,
reminded me of A Quiet Place. I wanted to go see A Quiet Place, but we settled for Cruella, which I think I enjoyed better in the theater than I would have enjoyed paying it on Disney Plus. Even
mhm.
though it's been like, if you want to average out the difference, I think I spent maybe $10 more at watching it at a movie theater compared to the streaming service. But I think with the experience of it all,
You paying $40 for a movie ticket?
I paid for two tickets, so
Oh, okay, okay,
that's
okay,
what I'm counting in for. Yeah, I'm counting in for like
okay.
my like right
That's
along.
the
I know, right? I know. But I mean,
yeah.
we've done that before. We've done double features that were like around $40
Oh
sometimes.
yeah, we did the Star Wars,
So,
the Last Jedi. That
but
was
it's
cool.
worth it when it's like a good franchise. This is Cruella, like this was.
Definitely. Well, definitely. Yeah, it's still obviously a movie, a prequel, really. Yeah, I haven't seen it. When I went to Disneyland for Avengers Campus, they had the Corolla car out
Oh
where the trams are.
yeah,
So that was cool. Again, I need to hop on it and go see it because we're just gonna keep getting stacked with movies. Also, hey, did you cop your Black Widow tickets?
I haven't.
Because
I
yeah,
actually.
tickets are on sale.
Oh, there are.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're
cool.
out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remind me again the release date. 'Cause I keep forgetting it.
July
Actually,
9th,
July 9th.
but it comes
Okay,
out the 8th. The
nice.
8th is the Thursday. Um, but yeah, I got mine for me and my buddies. Super excited to see that.
Yes,
I'm gonna see
absolutely.
it. I'm gonna be seeing it with them um opening night, and then I'll be going by myself right after work. So we're seeing it in IMAX, and then I'm gonna go see it in Dolby after I get off work on that Friday. I'll be back. I'll actually be back in actual like I don't want to say my office because my office is the community, but I'll be back actually at work in the community.
Oh,
Uh,
how are you feeling transitioning back to that?
you know what? I'm kind of excited because I haven't seen coworkers and clientele in over a year, so it's gonna be nice to be back to that. I'm gonna leave it at that only because I don't want to go into too much detail, or I can get into some trouble.
Oh no.
Um,
Okay. I mean,
yeah, yeah. Our
you gotta
clientele is
say what you gotta
protected
say.
by our clientele is protected by HIPAA, so I can't share any information on what I really do.
Okay.
Well, I
No,
work with I can share what I actually do. I work with adults with disabilities, but other than that, I'll leave it at that.
that's
Um,
great though. You're giving that's a good service. It's very
it's a lot of
much.
fun. I'm not gonna lie. It's it's cool. We have a lot of fun on the job. But yeah. So after I get off from work from there, I'll be going straight to seeing Black Widow after
How
that.
fun. How
And yeah, so I'm super excited. I cannot wait because this is the first MCU film back in the theaters.
oh, I'm excited to see some trailers. Do you think we might get something?
I think we're getting Spider-Man before that. I think we are getting Spider-Man before the Black Widow trailer. At least I hope we are. I really hope, and I really like to believe so. Um, but to get into today's episode, there's not too much going on that I thought was worthy to. I don't want to say worthy, but interested enough in to talk about.
Yeah.
Um, there's been a small update on the Star Wars show,
Yeah.
Visions, which is going to be the anime Star Wars TV show, and it is going to be. They're going to show a sneak preview at the Anime Expo on the 3rd of
Yeah.
July. I guess Lucasfilm and Disney are going to have a 30-minute time slot at 3 p.m. that is going to, give us a look on the upcoming anthology animated shorts um, with that show. Lucasfilms, Jackie Lopez, James Waugh, Josh Rhimes, and Cubic Pictures, Justin Leach, as well as Kanoko Shirasky. They're all producers on this show, so they're all going to be part of that. It's going to be hosted by Chastity Vincino. So, all we have for the panel details is, what we know is it's 30 minutes. It's going to be on the 3rd, and they're showing us they're going to be giving us a first look at that upcoming series, which is pretty exciting because I'm not too big of an anime watcher. I have like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Dragon Ball Z, all the classics as a kid. Now I've had a little bit of a hard time, but I'm excited for Star Wars to go into the anime.
Absolutely.
Considering anime is so big right now, I have a
Oh
lot
yeah.
of friends who watch anime. I feel like anime is kind of coming into pop culture, especially with the pandemic. I feel like a lot of people started to watch a lot of anime.
I think it's gotten like the hype. I think the hype had already been there because there was a lot of people I remember like in middle school and high school that were like, "Hey, do you know this show?" Like this and that. But I never got into it because anime is just not my style.
Hmm.
I don't know what it is, and I don't know what it is. I mean, I know you can probably say it's cliche, but like I grew up on Dragon Ball Z and Avatar: The Last Airbender,
Yeah,
which in a sense is anime, but it's still I guess cartoon. I don't know. There's a debate between whether it's actual anime or it's not. Um,
I think as
but
long as it originates from Japan, it's anime.
that's a
Because
good.
then, yeah,
Yeah,
because I know Dragon Ball Z is Japan based, and I know Yu-Gi-Oh is,
yeah.
and I don't know if Digimon is, but I think Pokemon is also originated in anime
Yeah,
as well.
yeah. Shows
Um,
like that, shows that would be like on Saturday mornings on Cartoon Network, like or
yeah,
Fox, things like that. Like it was interesting. Um,
yeah,
but that's really fun. I hope whoever our listeners like if they watch anime, maybe they can even start give us some recommendations to like kind of pathway
yeah,
that
that'd
can
be great.
like, hey, I know you guys said that we weren't into it, but maybe if you start here and then just kind of fall into a rabbit hole of anime, that would be fun. So if you guys have any recommendations, Adam and I would love to maybe even watch an episode or two on a show that you guys can recommend. But how exciting! I think Visions is going to be fun. I'm curious. Is it like the style of the Bad Batch and like Clone Wars anime, or is it like actual like you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no, I get what you mean. In terms of like the animation on the TV shows we already got,
Yeah,
I don't believe they've addressed it. I'm assuming it's gonna be like the 2D um animation, like traditional anime, like when you watch, well, at least when I watched Yu-Gi-Oh, I've watched a little bit of Demon Slayer and that's more 2D, so
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's going to be more similar to that. Because obviously, I feel like anime, when you create it like that, it is more of, I feel like, the animation that distinguishes me it being anime than it does actually,
Yes.
the creation of it, so like, because like obviously, if Luke was like, oh, we're making anime, but they're going and making it live action, that's not going to really be, anime. I feel
Right.
like you when you watch an anime, at least for me, watching Yu-Gi-Oh and Pokemon and Digimon and the others growing up, they were all similar, animation. So I'm assuming it's going to be like that tradition, well, what we already know.
Yeah.
I feel like anime stays true to that 2D, um, format.
Feel.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
From what they say, from what we know, though, it is coming out this year too.
Really? Like later
Yeah,
in the fall?
that's what it says on IMDb, that it is projected to come out in 2021, um, which is awesome. That's awesome because that's more Star Wars. I think it's going to be a fresh take on Star Wars, only because we've never seen anything like this. It's
Yeah.
kind of be fun to be away from that main storyline, but other than that, I mean, I'm excited. I'm very hopeful
It's
for
Star
it.
Wars stories.
Yeah, for sure. A different take. Samurai Jedi's would be awesome.
Yeah.
Samurai Jedi's. More. I think what would be cool is like if we saw more blades like the dark saber. Kind of like
I,
look up like a traditional sword. I think that'd be awesome, as opposed to like just the light bulb style blade.
I think
Oh,
maybe Visions. Oh, hopefully Visions introduces new concepts to lightsabers.
ooh,
Um,
that'd be cool.
yeah, so that would be really, because I mean we've had different takes on them um when we seen them through Clone Wars and
Mhm.
Rebels, but even then, like I think just seeing the way the Black Saber looks, it's pretty cool. So
Yeah, no, definitely,
yeah,
definitely.
I think it'd be
We'll see
super
a couple colors we haven't even seen before.
exactly.
Like it's kind of hard to do considering in Legends we've seen every single color, but I'm sure Disney can find a way to create something new that they can profit off of.
Yeah.
you know. But yeah. Oh, sorry. Did you know they're selling the dark saber in Disneyland?
Are they really?
Yeah,
Like,
it's not so when you buy a saber, a legacy saber from Disneyland, it doesn't come with the blade. This is the only saber that comes with the blade. Mind you, it is $200, but it does come the blade's included because you can't put a normal style Disney blade into it that they
oh,
sell. So obviously that's a one of one blade
got it.
because it looks like a really like a sword. So it's pretty cool. I'll send you some photos after. If I learn how to edit videos, I'll pop in a photo of the dark saber in this. But yeah, moving on. There was a trailer for a TV series that I'd stumbled on right before we recorded, about probably 30 minutes before we started recording. I felt like I had to talk about it on here
Yeah, go ahead.
because it looks
Did it
so
just
much fun.
the trailer just released, or is it uh
I
or-
think it dropped online. I don't know if it said a couple hours ago where I stumbled on it. I don't know if it's been on for a longer if the trailer's been out longer than that, but it is called the TV show. It's an Apple TV or an Apple TV Plus original. It's called The Shrink Next Door, and it's Paul Rudd as a therapist, and his patient is Will Ferrell. Of course, they'll be portraying other people within this in the show. They're not playing themselves, but it's based on a true story, inspired by the true events documented in the Wondery and the Bloomfield Media podcast of the same name. The Shrink Next Door is described as a dark comedy following the bizarre relationship of a psychiatrist. Um,
That's so
who-
fun. That sounds
yeah,
like a fun show.
yeah. So I guess they've within the show they've been so his name's Dr. Isaac Hirschkopf, I think. I don't know. I butchered that. And Martin Markowitz. and he's been his longtime patient, and it's going to follow them, helping him break through. But the trailer was fun because they asked. It starts off with them in therapy, and Paul Rudd asks Will Ferrell, and he's like, how's work going? He's like, fine. He's like, how's the relationship with your sister going? He's like, fine. He's like, how's your marriage going? He's like, fine. He's like, you know what? Paul Rudd says to Will Ferrell, he's like, I'm tired of, what word I'm tired of hearing, Marty? He's like, the F word. And I thought that was just funny. There's a couple shots where Paul Rudd is like, they're playing basketball, and Paul Rudd is in like a cutoff, not a cutoff shirt, but like a tank top, and
Yeah.
Paul Rudd looked buff.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's
He
still
looked
pretty
buff.
I think he's still pretty working out. I mean, he's still filming Ant-Man, so I'm pretty sure like he was probably filming that while he's filming Ant-Man. So yeah, out of the way. Sorry, my cat is over here being a menace.
No, you're
Um,
good, but yeah, the show looks great.
I gotta check
But
out the trailer.
yeah, I'll send you the
Did it give a
trailer.
form of storyline, or was it just like kind of scenes? Besides,
Uh, yeah. So there was just a bunch of like talking over of them, just having an overcall conversation where he's
yeah,
like, I want you to not get out of your comfort zone. He's like, but I have your best interest, and they're doing a lot of fun things. They're doing things together. They play basketball together. Will Ferrell goes over to Paul Rudd's house to go swimming. They're just doing a lot of stuff. They have a lot of interactive scenes together. Obviously, as a patient and a doctor, that would make sense, but it's
right.
not just within where they're having their therapy. It's outside in public places. It doesn't take place in modern time. At least it didn't look like it. It looks like it takes place in like the 90s or something, or like the early
Oh,
2000s.
okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
fun.
they're not. I don't want to say older clothing because the early 2000s isn't really older clothing, but like you get what I mean. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. I mean, I think it's something that we kind of grew up with.
Yeah,
Um,
but it looks like a lot of fun.
I gotta check this show out. What is the name of it again?
It's called The Shrink Next Door, and it's based on obviously a true documentary or a true story, or I think it was inspired by, or no, based on true stories, is what it said. But the lead roles are going to be Will Ferrell as Martin Markowitz. Catherine Hahn is in this show as well as Phyllis Shapiro, and Paul Rudd as Dr. Isaac Kirschkoff, and then Casey Wilson as Bonnie Kirschkoff. I'm probably butchering those names, and I apologize.
Nah, A for effort. A for effort. And I think you did a good job anyway. But that's
Thank
actually
you.
really fun. I love anything that Paul Rudd is in. Especially I think a lot of people have Will Ferrell under their funny bone. So
Oh yeah,
yeah, hopefully I mean you said it's a dark comedy. I love dark comedy. So if
yeah,
I'm in,
yeah.
if
Don't you
it's
say
gonna be
less,
live,
right?
we're gonna be talking about some dark stuff or kind of getting into especially the world of psychology. Um Now that's interesting, and sometimes it can be relatable. Maybe even encourage people to go to therapy. Who knows?
Yeah. So we
No,
have a couple writers. So it's directed by Michael Showalter, and Georgia Pritchett is writing. Oh, she's
Georgia,
writing the credits. Sorry, I don't know.
what have they done?
I will let you know right now. Well, he's only credited with one episode that he's directing, but he's done Wet Hot American Summer,
Oh, cool. They didn't
Big
like
Sucks. Yeah, they made a comeback on Netflix.
a reboot or something like that.
Yeah, they did. Rob actually introduced me to that movie and that show, and I binged it so quickly. All three of it, because there's like a first day, and then there's the 10-year reunion. Yeah, I watched it all so really really quick. Um, but yeah, this looks exciting. Like you said, dark comedy. Sign me up.
Yeah, seriously.
Especially with Will Ferrell and Paul Rudd, who are known for having, I feel like more lighthearted comedies, or they'll be in something and it doesn't feel as heavy as it actually is because of how I would warming personalities they have on the in the projects that they're in.
Yeah.
So I am excited for this.
Oh man, I gotta watch this trailer now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you definitely do. I'll definitely send it to you after we get done recording.
for sure,
Uh,
man.
Before we get into spoiler talk for episode 2 of Loki, there's
Yeah,
something I forgot to mention on the last episode because I remember watching it in episode 1 and it
yeah.
had laughing. It was a predicted theory. Well, it was a prediction that ended up coming true um, within the Loki TV series that he's DB Cooper.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's right.
I
That's right. Yeah,
loved
the
that
whole
so
incident. That whole incident
much.
with the because that's a real thing, right? That was that
Yeah,
happened in life. He like
yeah.
disappeared, and then he
Oh my
he was
god.
making it as if it was like a joke with Odenheim or
With Thor
um,
and with Heimdall.
I'm
Oh my god, I loved that so much, and I loved how I loved how Mobius was so like, "You're DB Cooper," like even he was shocked about it, and he's here, a time cop, so it's
yeah.
just like I loved that so much. For those of you who don't know who DB Cooper is,
Give a little more explanation because I had to Google it after that. I was like, that's funny.
yeah, I
'Cause-
got the FBI government website pulled up right here, so I'm just gonna read it word for word.
Go ahead, give us the
So,
insight. Give
on
us.
the afternoon of November 24th, 1971, a nondescript man calling himself Dan Cooper approached the counter of the Northwest Orient Airlines in Portland, Oregon. He used cash to buy a one-way ticket for flight 305 bound to Seattle, Washington. Thus begun one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in FBI history. Cooper was a quiet man who appeared to be in his mid 40s wearing a business black suit with a black tie and white shirt. He ordered a drink, bourbon and soda. While the flight was waiting to take off, a short time after 3 p.m., he handed the stewardess a note indicating that he had a bomb in the briefcase and he wanted her to sit with him. The stunned stewardess did what she was told, opening a cheap, I don't know how to say that, a cheap case. Cooper showed her a glimpse of mass wires and a red colored stick and demanded that she wrote down what he told her. She soon walked away to the captain with the note demanding $200,000 in $20 bills.
Oh my god.
Yeah. When the flight landed in Seattle, the hijacker exchanged 36 flight passengers for the money and parachutes. All right, so he's not an entirely bad guy because he let the flight passengers live.
Okay.
He kept several of the crew members, and the plane took off again and ordered to set course for Mexico City. Somewhere between Seattle and Reno, a little after 8 p.m., the hijacker did the incredible jump out of the back of the plane with the parachute and the ransom money. The pilots landed safety, but uh, Cooper disappeared into the night. His ultimate fate remains a mystery to this day, and all that's left is his black tie. It's from J.C. Penney. They confirmed this, I guess.
Oh my god. Oh my
Yeah.
god. That is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And he just disappeared.
Yeah.
It's interesting that he had a suit on. Like usually, like you would think like, oh, the Men in Black, right?
Yeah.
That kind of things like that. But
Maybe he
maybe,
is.
maybe. I
Maybe
mean,
he's a rogue Men in Black FBI agent.
he probably had time travel. He probably had some like
It's crazy to think, right?
I yeah, but it's oh my god, which is hold on to that thought before we even get into the spoiler talk because there was yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll finish there because I don't want to get ahead of myself. But
Ahead of what in terms? Is it for
just something
Loki?
related to Loki, yeah, with the second
Okay.
episode.
Okay. Yeah, but I absolutely love that. I know everybody kind of saw it. Like a lot of people on like Twitter and like YouTubers were saying like, "Oh, he looks like he's DB Cooper in this scene," and I was like, he very much like when watching it, I 100% agreed with it. I was like, man, if he's DB Cooper, that'd be great, and it makes sense why he disappeared.
Yeah,
Like because like in the scene, Loki, yeah, he's DB Cooper, and then he gets taken to the Bifrost through the Bifrost back to Asgard, and
yeah.
oh my gosh, like that was great. I
In
loved
that
that so
universe, it
much.
makes sense.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So much
Meaning
sense.
the TVA knew that was gonna happen and allowed it to happen.
Well, not necessarily the TVA, the timekeepers.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
So
Well, what's the difference?
well,
Isn't
the
this?
TVA just enforce the sacred timeline. The timekeepers make the sacred timeline.
Oh, got it.
Yeah,
The timekeepers are like the three lizard people.
yeah. So they say that the lizard people. I don't buy it.
Yeah, it, everything will be resolved. Um,
So we know. They say. Well, so we hope.
yeah, I don't know, man. So far, the show has been blowing my mind a little bit. This one's
Yeah.
having me have. I'm enjoying this a little more than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
You know what? I can agree.
Yeah, and I think, and it's not. I don't know. Maybe it's just because of the tone. Because
I
I
feel like
was
each show has
hard on
gotten better.
yeah,
You know.
and there was a theory that I sent you how like each show so far has kind of dealt with like an Infinity Stone,
Hmm.
and like with Wanda it was the Reality Stone. With Falcon and the Winter Soldier it was what was it? It was a Soul Stone maybe or like the Mind Stone.
Uh huh.
And then I think with Loki it was gonna be the time stone.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, definitely, that's what we're seeing because we're seeing and that. Yeah, we were talking a little bit about it. How, it does seem like Wanda's using, the Mind Stone, but she's also altering reality.
She
You
is.
know, and you can say the same thing about Falcon and the Winter Soldier is that he's readjusting to reality. You know, whereas Loki is strictly messing with time. So it's super super exciting, but before we get into the Loki talk,
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna take a really quick step away.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna pause the recording. So we're recording once again. Sorry about that. I was attempting to get tickets to a concert for my cousin. Um, I'm still actually waiting in line. There's about 1,800 people ahead of me.
That's okay.
People really want to see Los Bookies. I have no clue who they are, but
They
hey,
are a very well known Mexican band group that has released nothing but bangers. And I think you said they had broken up. Now they're
I
doing
got
it.
I got no clue. This is what from my understanding. So it's called Los Bukis Una Historia Cantada.
A history, a sang history.
Okay.
A sang history,
Okay. Well, I got no clue. So
yeah.
yeah, let's talk Loki. Let's talk Loki episode 2. So episode 2, yeah, a lot of fun. Lots and lots of fun. You wanna go ahead and you wanna take the lead on this one?
Yes. So episode two was like picks up right after episode
Mhm.
one.
Yeah.
And it actually starts off with Sasha Lane's character, who's a time cop, um, investigating. I think in like in 1989, I want to say, and they're at a Renaissance fair.
Yeah.
Show up, and it's crazy for me to think that these guys are literally just showing up without even having any disregard to anybody getting seen. You know, um, and so immediately they follow I think a or time variant disturbance or something like that into a tent, and then there's a voiceover, and there's a little bit of like a play like kind of it felt very like let's play a game.
Yeah.
Suddenly, you know, Sasha Lane's character gets what's the word? I think she gets possessed, not possessed. It's like
Yeah, she's controlling them in some way.
yeah, and she's controlling them in a really badass way. I don't think even Loki has done that before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I've seen it. Maybe I may be wrong. And this is really fun for me because I love music, and they start playing "Holding Out for a Hero" by Bonnie
Yeah.
Tyler, and she and Sasha Lane's character just goes through the time cops quickly and in such a form like it was very like I want to say vicious. It was very
Yeah.
like, I felt bad for these guys, but then again I didn't
It
because
was a
it was
brutal scene, that opening scene.
with like a comedic song on top of it to like
Yeah.
alleviate a little bit,
To give
alleviate
you that
that. Hey,
laughter.
everyone's getting murdered right now, but
Yeah.
here's a banger on top of the scene, um I mean, that was funny. And the variant, the one everyone's chasing, TVA is chasing, and Loki was signed up to chase after, appears still in a hooded figure, and a Dux actually kind of kidnaps Sasha Lane's character, and
Yeah.
then the episode really begins after that. And so we follow up with Loki and Mobius. They just got notified that they had there was another incident regarding the time cops, and now they're Mobius is trying to convince. I forget. I think the character's name like Renslayer. Hang on, 1 second. Sorry.
No, you're good.
Ravonna Renslayer, who is like kind of like the chancellor of the whole thing, kind of the one who kind of supervises it, or like the chief basically.
Yeah.
And Mobius is like, dude, I need him on this case. Like, who's
Yeah.
better to catch a Loki than Loki himself? You
Yeah.
know. And so after that, the episode just takes on a full, like almost kind of Criminal Minds investigation type of thing, where they have to do the
Yeah.
research, and
We
it's
had a little bit of so Loki doing desk work too, which I thought was funny. And he's talking to Miss Minutes.
yes,
And he asks her, "Are you real or are you an AI?" And she's like, "Well, I'm kind of both." And she's trying to like talk to him. I thought that was funny.
I think Miss Minutes is cute.
She's adorable. Yeah,
She
she's adorable.
and and he just I think there's scenes with like Tom Hiddleston where he just portrays a child very well, and I think you get to see that within this episode, and you also get to see a lot more of. You also get to see understand Mobius a little more and why
Mhm.
he has so much faith in Loki, because he kind of gives him that benefit of the doubt, and honestly I think he's Mobius is super aware of who Loki is.
Yeah.
And they continue on. They get the approval from Ravonna. They go back to 1989 to go get that to go check out the Renaissance Fair. They're checking the crime scene. They give Loki a sweater or a jacket.
Yeah, this is very
Back.
yeah, I thought that was great.
And
That was great.
do like a time lineup before they even go, and they're like, "Hey, so we might find this person here, but at the same time, like, just make sure it's Loki.
Mhm.
You're gonna know it's Loki, and you know you're gonna it's a dangerous situation."
Yeah.
And then Loki's like, "Yeah, but please kill the right one, not the bad one. I mean,
Yeah.
kill the good one, not the like, kill the bad one, not the good one." So
Yeah.
that was funny. And Loki this entire time, even when he's on the field, is trying to get out of this. He's trying to find a way to go to the timekeepers. He's trying to get a meeting with them and see exactly like I think he just wants to know what's up. He's
Yeah. Yeah. There clearly isn't any trust for Loki. He
no
doesn't
there.
trust anybody, but then again too, obviously how could he? Because his whole world was just turned upside down. The way he perceives stuff.
Gotta
And then
miss.
even then, like they're on the scene and they find out. I think they find out they stole the or there's the what did it have to do with the reset?
The
Oh,
charges,
they put the reset charge.
yeah,
Yeah.
but they've been noticing that within every incident, their reset charge bombs have been taken. So
Yeah, yeah,
there's
that's what it
something
is.
going
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
They don't know exactly what's it going to lead to, and so
I'm trying to figure it out.
they're trying to figure it out. And Loki kind of tries to like riddle his way out of like the situation, but
Yeah.
it doesn't work. Mobius is like 3 steps ahead, and he makes it clear. He's like, "I know you. Like, I know you're trying. I know what I'm doing with you, and I know what you're trying to do with me, and
Yeah.
I'm not gonna fall for it." Because he's like, he actually kind of gives him like a little bit of a therapy thing, like a slap in the face where he kind of humbles him. He's like, I know whether, like, I see two things right now, and I'll tell you two things. I see a scared little boy, um, who is afraid of what's going on, or two, I think what does he say? He says like,
Um,
where you can trust me and we can figure this out together.
yeah,
I
yeah.
know I'm gonna figure out of the way. I know what you're trying to do. Oh, you're trying to
Yeah.
get a meeting with the three the timekeepers so you can
He
trick
sees right through it. He's
something. Yeah,
Mobius is seeing right through it
Mobius has studied him
because
very
he there's the they're in the tent and then they're like, oh, search the area, and then Loki's like, no, 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 like don't do that. Like, what would a Loki like if I was Loki? This is what I would do, and I would wait for you guys to come outside, and then I would murder you guys one by one, and then
yeah.
uh and then he starts to kind of joke around, which I thought was funny. He's just cracking jokes. Then that's when I feel like that. I think that's when it Mobius like calls him out on it.
Yep.
And then obviously they go
Walk
back
the
to
reason.
they reset the timeline, and then they go back to
The
the
TVA.
TVA, and then they start doing a bunch of office work in like the archive levels, which I
Yeah.
thought was
And
cool. Loki starts reading on stuff.
yes, he does.
Like he starts picking up on patterns, and that Loki's hiding in a bunch of like doomsday. I thought it was funny when Loki brought up he's like, oh well, why jet skis? Like, what's your fascination about jet skis to Mobius? And Mobius is like, they're just so cool, and
Yeah.
then like, but I'll probably never get to ride one, you know? And
And
I
that's
think that was
to a good scene between them, a good conversation of like almost existential crisis where it's like, okay, so you say you want this and you don't do it because you're following the rules, but yet like why are you making the TVA your life? Why are you making the timekeepers like so like your purpose?
yeah.
Obvious is like, well, if you think about it, everyone's purpose or how everyone started out is kind of crazy. So and he's like for example, you're the son of the what is it, the frost
Yeah, the frost giant.
a frost giant. You're a son of a frost giant, but you were raised by Odin, the god. Like, when you say it out loud, it does sound crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you think about human experience and how they came about, we were all just floating dust.
Hmm. Yeah.
Like exactly, like who exactly? So that was a very good point. And then within all of that conversation, they find out about Ragnarok too. I think Ragnarok is
Yeah, so Loki realizes that this other Loki that they're hunting is hiding again in Doomsday events,
yes.
and
His
on
test.
the events is he realizes Ragnarok is on there, and then he realizes Pompeii is on there, and so they go to Pompeii, and I think it's funny because he's like, "You're all gonna die, and and there's nothing you can do about it," and because obviously the volcano is going to explode,
Yeah.
and then sure enough, Loki's plan serves him right, like it ends up, yeah, that there is that their actions in the Doomsday event has no ramification
Because it's already
within.
set in
Yeah,
time that everyone's gonna crash anyway. So whatever you
yeah,
do, regardless. And it's funny when he does that, when he tries before even like his whole like the relationship, man. I'm loving Owen Wilson and Tom Hiddleston.
yeah,
I
yeah,
thought
definitely.
about
There's really good
Chris
chemistry.
Hemsworth and Loki together, but man, like these guys are a whole different vibe, and
Yeah.
it's so refreshing and fun to see.
It's even more of the good person, well, so far that we know, good person, Mobius, and this devious, mischievous Loki is,
Yeah,
so it's the perfect balance of good and evil, and I just think I think, I think it's great. They go to I guess another's doomsday. It was the hurricane. I forget what it was.
it was like Katrina, like a hurricane. No, it wasn't Katrina. It was in Alabama,
Oh, okay.
and they find because between the conversation, Mobius says like "scared little boy" because Loki confronts him about it. He's like, "You think I'm a scared little boy?" Like that was kind of patronizing. And then he's all like, "Wait a minute." And you remember they go back to the first where they reference that gum, where
Mhm.
it's a clue that gives them like we can start cycling through all this document to see where we can cross check
Yeah.
this candy. Basically, it's candy that kind of like in relationships to where these cataclysm events happen, and that's when they find Alabama and they go and travel to it. And honestly,
It was in 2050. So it's a future
2050,
event. And this is funny because we start learning about the doomsday events that are going to possibly, that they say are going to happen. But so I was looking it up right now. I guess Alabama is actually at risk in 2050 for a hurricane.
oh my God. So
Yeah.
we're over here enjoying and watching a show that's fiction, but yet
It's going to actually happen.
it's gonna actually
Yeah.
what if we're just getting like warned right now and it's just kind of getting over our heads?
It's just telling us what's going to happen, and we're here just enjoying this TV show in
There was a
2021.
famine, there was a something about like an eruption.
Yeah.
Say Krakatoa. I was like, wait a minute.
It's insane. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
I was like,
imagine all of
come on.
this comes out to like actually come true. I think that'd be that'd be absolutely
I'm just
insane.
glad that they didn't say anything about the San Andreas Fault, even though we've been doomed for that. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, look, as long as it's not in my lifetime, I'll be
Gonna
happy. As long as
have
I
a long
am
life though.
you're right.
Don't
Just
worry, we're gonna be. How old are we gonna be when 2050 comes around? I'm curious.
2050. I'm 24 right now. So that's in what?
You're gonna
2050.
be
It's
like
what,
70.
39 years? Or no, 29 years. I'll be 50. I'll be over 50.
Well, hopefully we'll be over 50 and still
Oh, we
kicking
will.
and
Yeah.
alive, and we'll figure things out then. And we'll come back to this. We'll come back to this podcast and
Yeah.
be like, if only they knew.
Hey, we tried to warn you guys. You know, Loki was here trying to warn us that hey, this is going to happen in 2050, 2030, whatever. You know, what's meant to go on. So yeah, they're going. So they're at this random supermarket too.
Yeah,
You know, and
they
they're looking for people, and then they stumble. They split up, and the main bad cop female is like, hey, Loki comes with me.
15 or something like that.
Yeah, I forget her name. She's very mean though.
She's very strict.
Yeah, she's very strict. Yeah, she's tough, is what she is.
She
She's
just
tough
doesn't trust Loki though. I think she understands that her life's on the line as long as her teammates. And I think I see the cop commodity there.
for sure.
But even Loki's like, it's okay, you can trust me. Like you have to trust me, right? Let me do this with.
Yeah,
And Owen Wilson's like, we'll see. And
yeah,
things start getting crazy.
yeah. Because in Loki, we find out Loki's communicating through people, like he's taking control of them, and it's really obvious that it's him, mainly because there's some random dude shopping for. I think they're called
Plants,
this. Yeah, I think they're called
middle
this
of a
alias,
hurricane.
and they're 50% off. Well, they do have people sheltered there in the store.
Yeah, but like their shelter, like I don't
Yeah,
think
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
first
why
thing
is he
you're gonna want
shopping?
to
Yeah,
do is like
yeah.
go buy plants unless that's your comfort thing to do,
Yeah, and then
buddy.
The other Loki immediately calls him out for it, like you're undercover, because Loki's like, well, I'm gaining their trust, which I thought, well, it wasn't big surprise. I was like, at
Mhm.
the end of the day, this is still Avengers 2012 Loki.
Yeah,
So look at what Loki did after causing all that ruckus. He still betrayed Thor and go to the dark world. Excuse me,
he
but
did. It's funny because he was like, I think it was a conversation between them, Mobius and Loki, and they were like, it's like I've studied everything about you. You've stabbed people in the back, literally stabbed people in the back about 50 times. He's like, well, I won't. And then Loki replies to that. He's like, I'm not gonna do it again. It's so tiring. It's bored. I'm not.
yeah,
They're like, trust me, I won't do it again. It's like, yeah, okay, man. Like, how do I
yeah,
know that I'm not gonna be out in the field and you're gonna stab me there and leave me to die and do whatever you need to do? Which Mobius has a really good hold on him,
hmm
but at the same time, we also like through that conversation, Mobius kind of rules out why Loki's so driven to finding out this variant, his version of himself, because he said it. He's like, I know it drives you crazy knowing that there's a better version of you out there when it's like you think it's just you, and
yeah,
he's like, you can't take it. Like that's.
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, wow, this guy like second episode in, and you're already like
You're
this.
calling him out on it.
Yeah, and it's true. I mean, that's the whole reason why even Loki he wants to be better. He calls him out. He's like, you're just insecure. You're you want this validation, this affirmation from people that you don't have it from. But when it comes to you, you want it for yourself,
Yeah,
even with this variant. So obviously I know that you want to catch this person just as much as you want to meet the time
yeah.
as
No,
well.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Um,
there's a
plan.
badass scene of them fighting.
Well, before though, Loki reveals his plan.
Oh yeah, explain that.
The Loki where he admits he to join. He asks the other Loki, join me, and we'll together we'll rule the galaxy. No, what he says is that's a Star Wars reference for any of those who pick it up. He plans to overthrow the timekeepers, and he admits that. And then the Loki responds, "Oh, that's not really my style to be like your left hand man." That's what Loki asks us to be. Um, and then it cuts to the cop that who got taken hostage in the beginning of the episode.
Yes.
They cut to her talking to Mobius, and she reveals that she gave up how to find the timekeepers and how to find their location, and pretty much where they are, which is insane, And then shortly after that, we get a pretty big reveal, which did I didn't expect them to do this, but I really think it's cool that they are.
It didn't. Are you talking about the review of the Loki?
Yeah, the version of the Loki. Yeah.
Yeah, it hit me until I didn't see the picture when I saw, and we'll have to quote her name. Let me find her name real quick because we were just talking about her.
But yeah, so it's late. So we get revealed that it's Lady Loki.
Yeah, played by Sophie Di Martino. I remember there were set pictures that were leaked before, and I remember seeing her character.
Yeah.
And so I remember there was a couple theories of like her being Lady Loki out there, or maybe being like the sister.
Yeah.
And now that we're seeing this, we're like, oh yeah. And then when I saw her, I was like, oh, that's right. She was gonna be in the show.
Yeah.
And now I'm very excited because this is gonna be fun.
Yeah, because she's a bunch of reset charges. We realize she's planted all the
several
charges. Yeah.
She probably killed a lot of people, a lot of those time cops.
Probably she blew up. So as we know it, she blows up the timeline.
Yeah.
All the branches start to grow. And the first thing I thought of was Doctor Strange.
That's exactly what I thought of
Like
too.
I the more and more
Even
see, like even after the first episode, I was like, how there's no way this doesn't carry on into Doctor Strange, because originally it was supposed to, and then they scrapped it all because of because of COVID-19 not allowing sets to allowing people to interact with one another, so they kind of had to rewrite some things. I think this is still going to play a huge part in Doctor Strange.
Oh yeah, I think that's the reason why it's even called the Multiverse of Madness.
I think Loki by the end of the show, Loki is going to be the timekeeper. He's going to be the timekeeper.
Oh, shut up!
And that's why the multiverse, and there's the multiverse of madness, and I think it's going to be, and Wanda's going to be feeding off of that, and I think Wanda's going to be feeding off of that energy. It's going to be so easy for her because Loki's just going to allow it. Why? Because Loki loves the madness.
Loves chaos.
Yeah.
We love. That's a very good. You heard it first here on our prediction, y'all.
Yeah.
That is so fun. And Loki,
the final scene is crazy too, though.
Yeah. Time variance. The TVA assistants or whatever are like freaking out. There's one guy like flipping through his journal or like his manual book, trying to figure if this is even part of like his training. It
Possible.
was yeah. And oh man, I love this episode. I love the score too. I'm really liking the score this season.
The musical arrangements are amazing.
I mean, I was telling you prior to us recording, when they switch into the hurricane. I keep saying Katrina. I'm so
no. But before we forgot to mention how Loki leaves with Lady Loki.
Oh yeah.
Which is crazy. And Mobius is running after him, to like, don't go, and he ends up going.
Yeah.
And I think I
was actually shocked. I was waiting for the time door or whatever, or
to close.
To close. I didn't think he was accepting his offer or maybe asking him.
There was hesitation.
Yeah,
because I think she knew though. She knew he was coming.
That's very interesting.
Yeah,
but she probably knew that herself.
Because for sure.
Her.
Because clearly she understands a lot of the concept, not the concept of time, but how time works for the TVA, you know?
Yes.
So maybe she knows something about Loki that he doesn't, obviously about himself, But I was just like, you know what? Like Loki leaving with Lady Loki was pretty cool because it goes to show that he was shown his future, but he's still the same Loki that we got in after Avengers, which I thought was great.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna have to see exactly where this is. I think this second episode level like raised the stakes for me in terms of how much I really liked it. Because now I want to know where it's going. And I
Yeah,
just again like when I saw the branches from the original timeline, I was like, oh my god, this is so fun. This is like tedious. Like this is just
yeah.
like this is fun.
The
Um,
crazy thing is like, are they done at this point, or like, well, is Lady Loki done, or is she going to? Are we just going to see them jump from apocalyptic event to apocalyptic event?
do you think they might go like during the events of Endgame? Because
What do
that
you
was
mean?
almost like
Go?
an apocalyptic, or I mean, the events of Infinity War.
Do you think they'll go to?
Like during, like they'll jump into that pocket.
It's a possibility.
Yeah, I don't know because that
Because I
was
mean,
considered.
it doesn't happen shortly after Ragnarok, so it makes sense because it's Ragnarok, which is the destruction of Asgard, and then they board the ship and they're immediately attacked by Thanos. So in like probably a span of like 2-3 days, Thor lost his dad, his homeworld, and half the universe. So there's definitely a possibility.
That's interesting, and it's exciting.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Oh man. Any final thoughts on the episode, or you think, or excited for what to see next
I'm
episode?
excited to see what happens next episode. I wonder how the TVA is going to treat Mobius though,
Oh, I
for being
know.
so wrong about it. Well, for all we know, again, what's crazy is that like, well, we don't know because what if Loki betrays Lady Loki because he
That's
doesn't
what I'm
like the fact
thinking
that
too.
he
I
doesn't
don't
like the
think
fact
the
that
fact
she's
that there's
yeah,
another Loki. Yeah, I don't think there's the like that she's already ahead of him in the
yeah,
sense. I don't think that sits well for him at all. He
no,
would himself. I know he would.
yeah,
And the fact that it's not literally, because he even said he's like, I wouldn't treat myself like this when he was getting beat up.
yeah.
It's like, why am I getting thrown around like this? I wouldn't do that to myself. But then like clearly,
Unless it's not Loki.
yeah, because it's not confirmed. It's
Yeah, it's
just
what we're presumed. Yeah, but then again, wouldn't the TVA know whether it's a Loki or not, as opposed to an impersonator?
hmm
I mean, they'd have to, right?
At that point, yeah. I mean, Mobius wouldn't be so sure of him having to find a Loki if it wasn't for Loki himself. But
Yeah, no, yeah,
it didn't specify exactly whether it was from the same, like literally same physical features and stuff like that, or same timeline maybe, or an alternate universe. Because they have to know for sure. There has to be alternate universes, or
oh yeah, for sure, without a doubt.
because of Nexus and all that, like the alternate, like the branches and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Clearly, there might have been something along the TVA files. And even then, like when Loki was doing his research, he's like, I want to know about the timekeepers, when it started, and all those files are classified. So I
yeah,
think that's another thing that we're gonna figure out exactly how all of that was formed. I think maybe through Lady Loki, he's gonna find out.
yeah,
Lady Loki probably knows more and has a reason why he wants to blow up all this out of proportion. Because it can't just be because she wants chaos.
yeah.
This be a
There's
deeper
got
reason,
to be a deeper root to it. Yeah.
and why she even started this in the first place, and why now. You know, um,
Well, what do you mean? Why now? Time doesn't exist.
and that's crazy.
Yep.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Seeing it from it's funny because when they went back to Pompeii, I just thought about Doctor Who.
Hmm.
Uh, Doctor Who has a Pompeii episode as well,
Yeah.
and it's called The Fires of Pompeii.
Hmm.
And there's always aliens involved, but like um, it was interesting to see like whenever it's because it's also a set time. Like
Yeah.
Pompeii has to happen,
Yeah.
and yeah,
I
it
think
makes it.
Pompeii is going to have an effect in the Eternals film as well. So,
Oh, yeah.
so they're they're subtly branching in what feels like new characters, because but then there's no correlation because we know Pompeii is going to happen regardless of who's around.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But it's going to be interesting,
Totally,
It'll
man.
definitely be interesting.
I had a really good time with this episode.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I can't wait for the next. We got Bad Batch tonight.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yep.
Have you been caught up on Bad Batch?
I believe I'm caught up. I'm not entirely sure though. I'll check right after.
I gotta double check too. I've been watching that, and
It's been fun.
I actually want to get
Cody
back.
showed up, and I don't know if I spoiled anything for you though. If I did,
Oh, what do you mean, Cody?
never mind.
Agent Cody?
Not Agent Cody. No, it wasn't Commander Cody. Never mind. But if I spoiled something for you, I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. I mean, I
Okay.
just gotta rewatch it anyway.
Did you watch the most recent episode?
I don't think I watched last Friday's. No, I didn't. I didn't.
Okay. Okay. Then yeah, I'm just gonna not say anything.
That's okay. I have 2
Yeah.
episodes to catch up on now, which is cool.
Yeah. No, definitely. But yeah, this is fun.
This was a lot of fun. I'm
Yeah.
excited for the next episode.
Mhm.
I'm excited to talk about Bad Batch too, because I know
Yeah,
we can incorporate it a little more. And then just kind of bouncing off ideas. Did you mention in the previous episode about maybe even like about our plans for the podcast and moving on to YouTube and stuff like that? Have you?
No,
kinda-
so I can go ahead and put that in right here. So guys, we are going to be having exclusive content, I should say, on the YouTube channel. So one of the first exclusive content when it does drop, Miguel and I will both be reacting to the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. And the only way you'll be able to watch that is by subscribing to our YouTube channel, which is obviously our Real Addiction. So go ahead and give us a subscription on there. We would appreciate it. You're going to be able to see video versions of the podcast up there. So when we record on Zoom, you'll be able to see that version up on the channel. And then obviously on our the streaming services that we use, you'll be able to continue to find the audio episodes of the podcast on there.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And we're excited for this because I think this is definitely going to branch out to
Definitely
other forms of fun entertainment for you guys and just kind of give us more of a visual.
I feel like we can definitely, there are things that we're not limit to on the podcast by just simply our voices, but we can probably do things that are a lot more fun, that we can do via video on YouTube.
Totally.
It's definitely going to be fun. We're still going to be recording. This is
we're still doing
I feel like
podcasts.
we're making it sound like we're leaving doing we're not. We're going to be recording.
Oh no, I don't. I know if anything, it's just fun because we're gonna have other.
We're just in it. We're
visual learner or visual people like to watch or listen. We're just trying to create different forms that you guys, because
that we can give you more than just a voice. You're going to see us more of like initial reactions and our expressions when we're excitedly talking about things. I know I'm going to be, I hope to be pretty excited for the Spider-Man Far From Home trailer. I don't want any big reveals in it. Keep all the big reveals for the film.
I don't want
all the big reveals.
I don't want like anything like that. I usually like watching just one trailer, especially if it's just one trailer. Because when they like release trailer 2 or release trailer 3, they kind of give more and more, and I don't like that. I'd rather just wait for the movie.
I'm the complete opposite. I watch every single trailer, including Super Bowl spots.
Oh, I feel like those give out more. Like when it comes to Super Bowl, I feel like they just tease a lot more when it comes.
Yeah. My favorite, not to just to wrap up the episode really quick, but before we do, my favorite Super Bowl trailer of all time is the Infinity War one.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
I'm not even like every now and then I go and watch it just to feel something. It is I think that is just a well put 30-second trailer put together. But yeah, so guys, we are going to be on YouTube. We're going to be having more content on there, allowing us to do more while still recording weekly episodes. You'll be able to find the weekly episodes on the YouTube channel, the video version, the recorded video version of it, as well as the audio version that will still be on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, as well as I believe we're on Google Podcasts as well. So
Cool.
yeah,
Cool. Cool. Awesome. That's
yeah,
great. I'm excited for it, and I hope you guys are too.
yeah.
And just bear with us too. Sometimes life gets
It's
in the
all
way.
still a learning stretch, all
Yeah.
still a learning stretch for us. But yeah, Miguel, I had fun. Thank you for taking the time to record here today.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right,
All
man.
right.
We'll talk to you soon. In sooner than by saying the next episode, but obviously we talk just about every day.
Yeah, man. I totally get it.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys in the next episode.
We'll do. Sig
All right.
Parvis Magna, Adam.
Sic Parvis Magna.